Hi, I'm Daisy Fernandez and I'm the creator of Deserter. Players take on the role of a medic carrying the body of an unconscious soldier to safety whilst they desert. You discover clues about who the characters are, why they deserted and how they ended up in this position, as well as the dark secret that binds them together. I was largely inspired by Paths of Glory by Stanley Kubrick because I thought it was a really humane examination of a group of soldiers who were court-martialed for deserting. And there are so many video games about the military, but there aren't many that situate the player in a role where they're not a hero and the player starting out by doing something really transgressive. I'm also really interested in female anti-heroes because whilst they seem to be increasing in number in film and TV, there aren't that many of them in video games. So it's been a really good opportunity to try out expressing a narrative in video games. The biggest success of EGX for me has been that people have connected with the story and they picked up on the twist at the end, which wasn't happening in the playthrough before EGX. People have also, they haven't been devastated by the story, which was never my intention. They've kind of found it blackly comic, which is exactly the tone I wanted. And yeah, that's been huge. The most interesting thing about EGX has been that my target audience wasn't necessarily the audience that connected with the story the most. Occasionally we'd have someone sit down and those of us manning the store would make eye contact behind their back and go like, oh, they're going to hate it. And they would turn around at the end and have really enjoyed it. And that was so surprising. It's been really, really cool to see that all of us with our diverse range of games have been able to find an audience at EGX. I definitely came with the assumption that there wouldn't be a space for narrative games, and that's definitely been proved wrong, which is really, really rewarding.
Hi, I'm Shane. I made a very inappropriate game this year, which is called obviously Inappropriate Content. So the game happens in a fictional authoritarian country, so the government has a list of rules of the content which should be taken out from the game. So you play as a game tester. Basically you have to check all these rules and find all these inappropriate content in the game and take them out. Sort of like a mixture of Paper Please and Metal Slug. Yeah, so basically I'm the game designer of this project. I'm doing a lot of programming, some writing, some sound design, a little bit of special effects, so there's a lot of things going on. Currently I have some really good review. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm planning to keep working on the project after I graduate, and I hope I can get any support I have, and I'm really glad to work on this game in NFTS. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Alex Taylor. I'm the designer and developer of Menagerie Fabulosa. Menagerie Fabulosa is a park builder with a heavy emphasis on conservation and modern zoo management techniques, as opposed to a game like Zoo Tycoon, which is much more focused on the business aspects of running a theme park. So it's day 2 of EGX. and it's been super busy. We've had maybe 20 or 30 people through just today, which has been amazing. I've been working on it for 6 months, and it's basically a portfolio piece because I'm hoping to go and get a job in games production, and all the feedback I've had has been really positive. All the collaborations that I've had with students at the NFTS has been commented on because all their work is fantastic, and yeah, it's been a really great time.
Welcome to Menagerie Fabulosa. Congratulations on becoming the newest member of our amazing team. All right, buddy, I need you to do some real work now. I've just heard that we have a new arrival expected later today. You have to build an enclosure for our new Pegasus.
Krakens have a high level of intelligence. He needs a lot of interaction and stimulation. Our enrichment programs here are essential.
Hi, I'm David, and I developed a game called The Echo Chamber. So my game is a narrative puzzle game, and basically you play as a woman who is going through therapy over the death of her brother, which is quite dark, which happened 20 years ago. And basically what you do is you delve into this woman's mind, and you try and piece together and recollect memories that happened when she was visiting her brother in this psychiatric hospital. In this abstract world of her mind, everything has an outline, shape and form, but she can't quite remember what these things exactly are and what they look like. She may be able to see like a blank canvas where a painting might be, but she can't remember the painting. But as soon as you introduce light and she turns a light switch on in her mind, then suddenly she can remember what these things are, what the painting looks like. You know, if there's a shape of something like a toy, maybe she turns the light on and it's a teddy bear. So in order to try and progress further and further, you need to realize what these objects are and potentially manipulate them into the right place, but also kind of use light in order for her to remember them, which is quite a strange concept to get across. But I think once you start playing the game, people have really got into it. So going forward, if someone wanted to help fund me and take this project further, then I wouldn't say no. But for me, it's more to kind of showcase my design skills in order to be able to find a job coming out of it, and maybe opening my own studio in a couple of years' time.
Who did you see?
Me. My mother, my brother, his doctor. And this. I have an image in my head that is not complete, but I can't remember. It all blurs together.
Maybe it's time to move past it and let it go.
I can't. Every night I wake up in a cold sweat thinking about walking through that door. Trying to work out what really happened.
Kara.
If I don't understand
Come
it,
back to me.
I never will.
Kara.
My name is Tom Reiffer, and I'm here at EGX with the NFTS Games crew with a game called Gold. This is a portfolio piece for me. I'm aiming to get into the industry with a job as a gameplay programmer, and I wanted a game that kind of showed that off a little bit. I used to work as a kickboxing instructor 50% of what I taught them was like kind of combat skills and kickboxing, and the other 50% was soft skills, empathy, conflict de-escalation, because a lot of these people would come to the gym with something to prove. Just arming them with half of that without giving them the soft skills on the other side felt irresponsible. So Gold is about two sisters, and what they're finding out is that the only tool they have is a hammer, so every problem ends up looking like a nail. And the only tool that they've got is their martial training. The only way that they've previously been able to kind of resolve their differences is through punching each other. And it's set in a kind of a mystical post-future world. And one of these sisters goes out into that world and finds something very old and very dangerous. And the other one thinks, no, I want some of that. And it kind of spirals from there as one of them finds it and gets a one-up, and the other one finds another thing and gets another one-up, and we go on and on and on until something very bad happens to one of them. It's got a really unique look at fighting games as a whole. The only way to kind of get good is to play people who are better than you, and that can be a bit of a grind if you're trying to actually get into the nuance of it. So a lot of the mechanics in Gold are simplified versions of like frame advantage and frame linking and combo linking and stuff like that. But taught over time and with a little bit of leeway either side, because they're fun mechanics. They can just be a bit opaque and a bit obscure sometimes.
Hi, my name is Tim Kaufmann, and this is my grad game Misfolded, a game about a small, lonely little creature trapped in a big, beautiful world that goes on an adventure to become bigger and stronger and ultimately consumes everything. It's a 2.5D narrative experience inspired by my previous research into Alzheimer's disease. In the gameplay, you play as a character called the Monomer. You move through the world trying to interact with everyone around you and trying to interact with your environment and ultimately failing. But as you grow through the level, you morph and change and grow stronger. The mechanics of movement change and grow along with you. You gain new abilities that allow you to overcome more obstacles. The environment around you morphs and changes, and in doing so, you gain new abilities and move forward through the game. The environment is inspired by memories of love and of loss. Memories to do with your family, to do with love, to do with recreation and fun, and distorting all of those reflects various symptoms of a disease that spreads through a brain. Before I moved into games, I was a researcher of neuroscience. I studied various neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, but I always wanted to creatively illustrate scientific ideas. My desire to move into games was to use games as a new artistic medium to bring scientific ideas to the masses. Whether it's for education or entertainment or abstract art or for research, that is my long-term goal.
Hey everybody, I'm Michael. This is my game Eternal Spirit, and I'm saying hi from EGX. Can't believe it, it's absolutely great to be here. Basically, I'm working on Eternal Spirit for the past year. This is a third-person action-adventure game, really akin to Journey and Abzu, but with a Tomb Raider kind of style to it. And it's in this big Himalayan world, you know, large landscapes, mountainous terrain, and you play as a young girl kind of discovering this spiritual quest that she's gone on. And with that, you know, she'll learn some secrets about herself and some things that are going on in the world. But yeah, it's kind of a quick summary of the game, so thanks.
Hi, I'm Joel Marshall. My game is Saturday Supervillain. It's all of this stuff that is around me. It is a card battling game inspired by 90s Saturday morning cartoons, where you play the role of Amphibia, evil genius and mastermind, and face off against the Nautical But Nice League, Defenders of the Sea, and their leader, Manatee Detective, the manatee who's also a detective. The plan going forward is probably add a little bit more polish to this and then release it for free out into the wild, work on some different projects, and then hopefully get a job, either designing systems or programming gameplay things, because those are the things I enjoy and don't involve me drawing stuff. I should stop ever drawing things. Don't make me draw more things.
Previously on Saturday Supervillain, your crazed quest for supervillainous power saw you take over the entirety of the Earth. You're prolific, prodigious, amphibious, and so naturally, you now turn your sights towards the sea. The foremost defenders of justice below sea level, the Nautical But Nice League, is all that stands between you and total world domination. That and a manatee with a grudge. But your sensational siege of the underwater hideout is only moments away!
Hey, I'm Niru Fekri-Arnold. I am the lead and solo developer on Causeway, a tactical adventure roguelike where you play as a robot in a post-apocalypse, trying to find its purpose and discover what happened to the humans. You've been dredged back up to a world that you do not recognize. It's very, very wet. All of the land, or almost all of the land, is now under the sea, and the humans have gone. And as the robots that remain aren't really sure where they've gone, they're not really sure why they've gone, but they do know that they're not particularly happy about it. You have this tool, the magnetic harpoon, which allows you to dredge bits of the land up from under the water to the sea surface. And with the magnetic harpoon, you can kind of create a space for yourself to go and explore out into the ocean and connect up all the disparate islands and all the disparate characters and kind of reform a robot civilization in the wake of the missing humans. And the game kind of plays out like a half exploration game, half tactical combat game a la XCOM, but with the catch being that the world that you are combating around on is a world that you've built yourself, so it's got player agency. I've learned a lot, and technically speaking, I think the game has taken so many strides. EGX has been amazing as well, and hopefully moving forward, this thing can get some funding for development. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
It isn't fair to bring you into a world like this. You have to be their savior now.
Hi, my name is Hannah. I am a game design student at the National Film and Television School, and I am in my final year developing my graduate project, which is a mobile game called Be Kind. So in the game, you guide a bee through a garden. There are plants for you to find, and when you go up to them, you pollinate them and you collect food for that bee to take back to the hive. You also sometimes find seeds, and you can plant those seeds in the garden to provide more food for your bees. There are 4 different plants that you can choose from, and you can choose when to plant them, so everyone will come out with a different and beautiful garden at the end of the game, and if you want to replay it and redesign your garden, you absolutely can.
It's all perfect, like the bee's happy, it's got a smiley face, and all of the plants, it's like perfect because all of the plants, they're like plants in real life, and it's like the bee's visiting the actual plant in real life, but instead it's in a virtual world in a game.
Yay! Now I have seeds, now I have flowers!
Oh, great!
I just planted some flowers.
Maybe you can use those.
When I got to choose what seeds I wanted, and I also loved when I got to go under the flowers.
The goal of the project is to make a fun but educational game, so lots of kids spend lots of time on tablets now, even at a very young age, and I wanted to try and find a way to make the most out of that time. So the game teaches you a bit about how bees are good for humans and how humans can help bees, and it also has interesting facts as you play about bees and about the flowers and the environment that you are going through.
It's like a tiny rocket.
Yeah.
A bee rocket.
Bees do move really fast. Bees travel at 15 miles an hour. It's faster than you can go.
What?
Bees, when they fly, they travel at 15 miles an hour.
Wow. 15 miles per hour.
Yeah.
That's fast.
Go to plant mode.
Yay!